So we continue with the reproduction in humans. We just saw the different parts of the female reproductive organ. Now we are going to see the parts of the male reproductive organ. So in case of a male reproductive organ, what we see is the first thing is the male has got a testes, the two sets of testes which are there. So if we, I'll not follow the figure which is there in the, okay, I'll follow the one sec. I'll follow that one only. So this particular testes, they are the ones, these are the testes. So the testes are the ones which are going to produce the sperm. The sperm is going to be produced over here, and then this testes are allowing the sperm to travel through a tube. This tube is called as a sperm duct. Okay, it's called as a sperm duct, or in this case they are given any other name. Yeah, it's just sperm duct only. And it enters. So if this is the urinary bladder, if there is a urinary bladder over here, the urinary bladder के नीचे से जब भी वो pass हो रहा है, तो वहाँ पे it is just at that particular point it enters into the urethra. Okay, यहाँ पे it is entering over there, and from there there are going to be certain kind of glands. So there will be certain glands which will be there. So the first kind of glands which will be there will be the seminal vesicle. Okay, the first is seminal vesicle. Okay, uske aage there will be two. So as this goes, there will be two another glands over here. These glands are the prostate glands. And finally there will be one more which will be the Cowper's gland. So there will be one more which will be the Cowper's gland. Okay. So what is going to happen is ये urine का path or the sperm का part is the same. In case of males, the place from where the urine is passed, the penis through which the urine is passed, the urethra through which the urine is passed, and the sperm is also passed, is the same duct. There is the same duct. The same duct, and it is like this, that ये duct इधर आ रहा है और ये sperm duct भी इसी को connect हो रहा है, and there are these glands in between which are going to give it secretions before the sperm is released. Okay, and this is then going into a muscular body called as the penis. So that's why this is going to be the penis over here, and this testes are connected in a sac-like structure called as scrotum. It's a scrotal sac. Okay, so what we see is inside the scrotal sac there are the testes. The testes are the one which are going to produce the sperm. So the sperm is going to be produced in the testes. The testes are located in the scrotal sac. So there is a scrotal sac in which the testes are located, and then from there is this tube which is going to be, which is the sperm duct, which is getting the sperm from the testes to the urethra. So here the urethra is the one which is यहाँ पे urinary bladder है. So urinary bladder से जो urine निकलने वाला जो urethra है वही जगह पे this particular sperm duct is also entering. And when it is entering over there, when it reaches over there, it is to be mixed up with certain kind of lubricants and juices. So there will be certain, because the sperm do not have mobility of its own. They cannot move on their own because they require some medium for its movement. Okay, they can only swim through a medium. तो इसीलिए वो medium चाहिए उन लोग को. वो medium उनको कहाँ से मिलेगा? They are going to be produced by these glands. So what are the three glands over here? Seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and the Cowper's gland. These are the three glands which are going to be adding some kind of a fluids with the sperm, so that the sperm gets a mobility, and also there's another properties of that thing, some lubrication and all, which is going to be added to the with the sperm. So that's why the complete fluid which is going to be given out by the male will be called as a semen. So it will be called as a semen, which is a combination of sperm plus that from this one from this one and this one. ये तीनों के जो fluids जो है वो तीनों का मिलके जो बनेगा, that is called as the semen. So semen will be a combination of that. So semen will be the mixture of all those things. So let's see what is the detail about thing written over here. Male sperms are produced in testes. So the sperms are produced in the testes. A pair of testes lie outside the abdominal cavity in a sac called scrotum. So see, the testes are not inside the body, they are hanging outside the body. So the two testes are hanging outside the body in a scrotal sac. Now this is because the sperm require for maturation or the production of sperm requires a body temperature say 2 to 3 degrees less than the body temperature. So if our body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, the sperm requires it to be around 35. So that's why the testes are not connected to the body, but they are hanging outside the body in a sac called as scrotal sac, okay, or scrotum. So this the reason. So you can see over here that a pair of testes lie outside the abdominal cavity in a sac called scrotum. In such an arrangement, the testes are at a temperature which is 2 to 3 degrees lower than that of the body. This is more suitable temperature for the sperm production and development. So you can see that the reason for the testes to be there in a scrotal sac and not inside the human body is because it requires a temperature, the sperm requires a temperature of 2 to 3 degrees less than the body temperature for its production and its maturity or development. So that's why it is going to be there in the scrotum. The testes consist of a mass of sperm producing tubes. These tubes join to form ducts leading to the highly coiled epididymis found on the upper side of the testes. So if I see a testes, the testes over here, there will be a coiled thing like this which will be on top of the testes, and then there will be a tube which is coming out which will be the sperm duct. This part over here is the epididymis. So epididymis is the area wherein the sperms are going to be first collected and stored for maturity, and then it is going to be passed through the sperm duct. So the testes consist of a mass of sperm producing tubes. These tubes join to form ducts leading to a highly coiled epididymis found on the upper side of the testes. This in turn leads into a muscular sperm duct. So then it is a muscular sperm duct. The two sperm ducts, one from each testes, open into the urethra just below the urinary bladder. So just below the urinary bladder, this particular sperm duct is entering into the urethra, and there are two testes. So the penis in the center and two testes at the sides is how it is going to be the arrangement in the body. There are two testes. So if I draw the figure, it will be this way, that the penis is over here and the two testes are one over here and another testes over here in a scrotal sac like this. So this is how it is going to be there, and then there will be the urethra like this. So this is how it works. So two testes and the penis in the center with the urethra over here, and this is connected to the urinary bladder. So this is the urinary bladder connected here. So ये आके इधर connect होता है और यहाँ पे फिर seminal vesicle वगैरह है. So अगर ये, this is the side view, अगर side से हमारे body का side से अगर देखेंगे तो the figure looks like this. But if I am like this, then the figure looks like this. Okay. The seminal vesicle are a pair. Okay, I missed it. Yeah, the two sperm. Fine, got it. The seminal vesicle are a pair of lobulated glands, each opening into the corresponding sperm duct just before they reunite with the urethra. So there are the seminal vesicles on the two. ये इधर से एक sperm duct है, इधर से एक sperm duct है. तो ये दोनों के side पे यहाँ पे is a seminal vesicle, which is going to be a gland which is going to produce a fluid. So the seminal vesicle produces a secretion which serves as a medium for transportation of the sperm. So the medium, the sperm require medium for its movement. The sperm has got tail, but it cannot move by its own because tail ke liye kab kaam mein aayega? It is going to be there when it is fluid inside. Only then it can move around. So the seminal vesicle produces a secretion which will be a medium of transportation for the sperm. So the mixture of this fluid and the sperm produce a milky fluid called as the semen. So semen is the fluid which is the milky fluid which is the combination of the sperm and the secretion from the seminal vesicle. At the base of the urinary bladder encircling the urethra is a prostate gland. This pours an alkaline secretion into the semen as it passes through the urethra. So abhi kya hai? Uske baad there are some additions to the semen. So the addition to the semen is given by prostate gland. Now prostate gland gives the semen an alkaline form. Alkaline means acid or alkali hota hai na, acids and alkalis hote hain. So वैसे this is an alkaline form. So alkaline form is going to be given to the semen by the prostate gland. The next is the Cooper's gland. The Cooper's gland, again there are two of them. So Cooper's glands are two small ovoidal glands found below the prostate gland. They secrete these glands. The secretion of these glands serve as a lubricant. So now the semen which is going to be there, it also needs some kind of a material so it can slide through very easily. That's why it requires some oily substance or a lubricant which is given by the Cooper's gland. So Cooper's gland gives a secretion which gives lubrication, or it acts as a lubricant inside the semen. So thus Cooper's gland, so we have got three glands. One is the seminal vesicle, the seminal. So first of all, okay, we started this way. First is the testes which produces the sperm. The sperm which is produced in the testes is going to pass through the epididymis, which is the area of the coiled tubule, from which it goes to the sperm duct and enters over here just below the urinary bladder, where it gets connected to the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle gives a secretion which makes the, which is a white colored fluid, which is the semen, and then it passes and further the prostate gland gives an alkaline solution to that semen, and then the Cooper's gland gives lubricant to the semen. So accordingly it will be the, you can see the urethra passes to the penis and carries through urine or semen. So that is why then it passes to the penis, which already could carry both the urine as well as the semen. Semen, so hence we see the semen is a mixture of sperm, secretion from the seminal vesicle, okay, prostate gland and Cooper's gland. So sperm with secretion from seminal vesicle, prostate gland and Cooper's gland, ये तीनों का मिला के जो combined secretion जो होगा, that is called as semen. It is a milky fluid. It is a milky white fluid. Its average amount is 2 to 3 ml in single ejaculation and contains 20 million to 40 million sperm. So when one single ejaculation is given out by a male, that ejaculation will be around 2 to 3 ml. Okay. So when one amount of semen comes out, okay, when one amount of semen comes out, it will be only 2 to 3 ml, but it will contain 20 million to 40 million sperms in it. So this was about the structure of the male. We already learned the structure of the female. Now let's see what exactly happens to these particular sperm cell and the egg cell. Fertilization. During sexual intercourse, the sperm present in the semen are released in the vagina, from where they actively swim upwards with the help of their tail. So if we see the figure, so we just understood that this is the So we know that this is the uterus and this is the fallopian tube. So the egg which has come from the ovary has come and reached over here. Okay, this is the vaginal opening. The vaginal opening is going to take in the penis. So the penis is going to enter into the vaginal opening. It is just going to enter the vaginal opening over here, and it is going to release the sperm inside the vagina. When it releases the sperm inside the vagina, so the semen which is there, it is going to be split over here, and the sperm cell. So if I consider that this blue line is a sperm cell, will start traveling with its movement of the tail and will travel all the way here into this particular uterus. So in the uterus and reach the egg which was present in the oviduct. So during sexual intercourse, the sperm present in the semen are released in the vagina, from where they actively swim upwards with the help of their tail. Okay, sperm released over here in the vagina is going to actively travel upwards. Out of the million sperms released in the vagina, only a few of them are able to reach up to the upper part of the oviduct. So only out of the millions of here, which you see there, in each ejaculation has got 20 to 40 million sperms. Out of that, hardly a few of them are able to reach this topmost point over here. The rest die on the way and are absorbed. The rest, if they happen to be an egg in the oviduct, it gets fertilized by just one single sperm. During this fusion, the tail of the sperm is left behind, and only the head part, which contains the nucleus, penetrates into the egg. So I just explained you in the earlier figure that the sperm is like this. So there is the nucleus, and then there is a tail over here. So this sperm is going to enter into this egg. So the egg is over here like this with the outer covering over here. So when it reaches over here, the size wise, it is so small. The sperm is so small with the tail over here. So what happens is this nucleus enters inside, where the tail is just left behind, and when it enters inside, it fuses with the nucleus over here, and that's what is called as fertilization. So it is that the rest die in the way. If there happens to be an egg in the, so if there happens to be an egg in the oviduct, the sperm over here is going to enter into the egg, and it gets fertilized by just one single sperm. So there will be only one single sperm which can enter. In fact, there is no possibility. It's impossible that two sperm can enter into the egg. There is only one possibility, that is only one egg can enter into the sperm. One sperm can enter into the egg. During this fusion, the tail of the sperm is left behind, and only the head part, which contains the nucleus, penetrates into the egg. The nucleus of the sperm fuses with the nucleus of the egg. This act is called as fertilization. This is known as fertilization. So the fusion of the egg nucleus with the sperm nucleus is called as fertilization. The next is implantation. The fertilized egg zygote soon starts developing, and by the time it reaches the uterus, a small ball of numerous cells is already formed. So what basically happens here is this particular egg jo hai. So now suppose this is the fertilized egg. So this fertilized egg is going to start multiplying, and as I told you that it is going to keep on cell division. So एक cell का दो cell, दो से चार, चार का आठ, 16, 32, 64 and so on. It will keep on becoming bigger and bigger, and it will start to come outside like this. So when it comes over here, so when it is big enough, it will slide down and it will get embedded into the walls of the uterus, where it will get embedded, and there it can grow into a complete full-sized baby. So the fertilized egg soon starts developing, and by the time it reaches the uterus, a small ball of numerous cells is already formed. The embryo forms a pit in the wall of the uterus. So it is going to form a small dig out, a pit and a khadda. Okay, pit is going to be formed on the walls of the uterus and gets fixed in it and gets fixed inside it. This natural way of fixing of the embryo in the walls of the uterus is called as implantation. This produces the state of pregnancy. So this is how the pregnancy takes place. This is how the female gets pregnant, that is when this fertilized egg gets embedded or implanted into the uterus, only then the baby, the mother or the female can be said to be as pregnant. Then comes the growth, that is growth means any type of irreversible increase in the size and weight of the individual during the process of development. So of course we know what is growth. It is just the increase in the size or the weight of the development of individual during the development. In the growth process, a single cell fertilized egg, that is the zygote, divides and redivides to form a cluster of cells. This division is accompanied by another process, that is specialization of cells. The specialization of cells leads to formation of different parts of the body. So as I told you, this is initially just going to become an embryo. फिर embryo बनने के बाद में there will be a specialization of the cells. यानी कुछ cells brain बनेंगे, कुछ cells heart बनेगा, कुछ cells धीरे धीरे पैर वगैरह limbs बनने लगेंगे, कुछ cells. In this way, different kinds of cells are going to get specialized to form into different organs of the body. So that is called a specialization of cells. The specialization of cells leads to formation of different parts of the body. This whole process is called as differentiation. This process also gives rise to various tissues and further various organs and organ systems. So, पहले क्या हो गया? The cells are going to form into tissues. The tissues are going to form into organs, and combination of organs will form into organ system. Thus, the zygote grows into an embryo. The embryo soon develops into a baby or a fetus. Okay, so a baby which is there, or we also call in the biological terms as fetus. Okay. By the end of 5 weeks of pregnancy, the embryo is in quite an advanced stage. During this period, the heart and the circulatory system are formed. After 2 months, limbs are also formed. So within just 5 weeks, the heart and the circulatory system is ready, and then this starts the development of the hands, and that is the limbs. And by 2 months, the baby will be actually taking the shape of a human being. So within 2 months, you can see that it will be having a face, the hands and the limbs and everything will be available in the 2 months baby. Then finally, the birth. The full term of development of the embryo in the uterus is called as gestation. Now, the baby is going to remain in the mother's womb for 9 months in case of humans. So similarly, that particular period for which the time period for which the baby is inside the womb of the mother is called as gestation period. Okay, that is called as gestation. So gestation is the period for which the baby is going to take time to develop inside the mother's womb. So in humans, it lasts for about 280 days. That's why it is 9 months, or it's 280 days. At the time of birth, the baby is pushed out with the head oozing out first by the powerful contraction of the muscles of the uterus through the vagina. So then when the baby is developed over here, then the head is going to come out first by the powerful contraction of the uterine muscles, which is going to push the baby outside. So that is how the baby is going to be coming out from the mother's vagina, that is the birth canal, and coming out after 280 days approximately. So that is how the birth takes place. So this was about the chapter reproduction in humans. A very short chapter, a very small chapter overall, and yeah, the main part over here is the 2 diagrams of the male and the female reproductive organs. So diagram 3.5 and 3.6, of course you don't need to draw them, but all the parts which are labeled over there should be known, and also if they are given us the functions of those parts, then that needs to be learned properly. So this is the most important part of the chapter, that is if they are talking about the male part, then prostate gland क्या करता है, तो वो alkaline secretion देता है, or what is the work of the ovary to give out the egg. So this way you should know the function of that particular part. And also you should know what is fertilization, what is implantation, what is differentiation and gestation. So these are the definitions which you will need to know, that what are these things. What is fertilization? That is nothing but the fusion of the egg cell and the sperm cell. The implantation is the embedment of the natural fixing of the embryo into the uterus, is called as the implantation. Then we call differentiation is the process by which the cells are going to get specialized or for its functions. So that is specialization or differentiation. And finally, birth gestation is the period or the full term of development of the embryo in the mother's or in the uterus, is called as the gestation. So these are the certain important things about this chapter. As such, quite an easy chapter. So very small and easy chapter. Okay, that's it. Thank you.